Welcome friends, welcome in anti-amoebic drugs. Myself Mrs. Urmila Ravindra Gauri, lecturer in KK Institute of Pharmacy Chandori, and this is part 1 for anti-amoebic drugs. First of all, we see what is the learning outcomes of this topic. After watching this video, student will able to name an anti-amoebic drug according to their IUPAC system. To understand the mechanism of action of anti-amoebic drug, to understand the life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica, to classify anti-amoebic drug in different ways. Amoebiasis. What is amoebiasis? It is also called amoebic dysentery and it is parasitic protozoal infection. It is an infection of intestinal tract caused by Entamoeba histolytica. The disease can be acute or chronic, with the patient showing various degree of illness, from no symptoms to mild diarrhea. The disease is due to poor hygienic condition and is transmitted by fecal oral route. It is result from ingestion of cyst. Fecal oral route of transmission of disease. This is the diagram showing fecal oral route of transmission of disease. It involves 5F, that is fluid, field, flies, finger and food. These 5 F's are responsible for transmission of disease. Fecal oral route also describes a particular route of transmission of disease within pathogen in fecal particle passes from one person to the mouth of another person. Main cause of fecal oral disease transmission included lack of adequate sanitation, that is openification, and poor hygienic practices. If soil or water bodies are polluted with fecal material, human can be infected with waterborne disease or soil transmitted disease. Fecal contamination of food is another form of fecal oral transmission. Washing hand properly after the changing the baby's diaper or after performing anal hygiene can prevent foodborne disease from spreading. The common factor in fecal oral route can be summarized by fingers, flies, field, fluid, food, and disease caused by fecal oral route transmission. Mainly these include diarrhea, typhoid, cholera, polio, and hepatitis. Now we see what is the classification of amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is broadly divided into asymptomatic and symptomatic amoebiasis. In asymptomatic amoebiasis, 85 to 95% affected by asymptomatic amoebiasis. Symptomatic amoebiasis, only 5 to 15% patients are suffered from symptomatic amoebiasis. Symptomatic amoebiasis also divided into intestinal amoebiasis and extraintestinal amoebiasis. Intestinal amoebiasis involve amoebic dysentery, non-dysenteric colitis, amoebic appendicitis, amoebooma, post-dysenteric colitis. While extraintestinal amoebiasis involves amoebic hepatitis, amoebic liver abscess, pulmonary amoebiasis, cerebral amoebiasis, cutaneous amoebiasis, splenic abscess, and urogenital tract amoebiasis. The diagnosis is established by isolating E. histolytica from the fresh feces. Therapy is aimed not only at the acutely ill patient but also at those who are asymptomatic carriers, because dormant E. histolytica may causes future infection in the carrier and be potential source of infections for others. Protozoal infections are the common amongst the people in underdeveloped tropical and subtropical countries where sanitary conditions, hygienic practices and control of vector of transmission are inadequate. Now we see life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica. Life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica exists in two forms. First, cyst form that can survive outside the body, and second, tropozoites form that can liable and doesn't persist outside the body. This is the picture which shows amoebiasis, life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica. Life cycle consists of following steps. First, ingestion of cyst. Cysts are injected through feces, contaminated food, or water. Second stage, formation of tropozoites. Cysts are passed into lumen of the intestine, then the tropozoites are liberated. Third stage, penetration and multiplication of tropozoites. Tropozoites are penetrated in intestinal wall and multiply within the colon wall. They either invade and ulcerated the mucosa of the large intestine or simply feed on intestinal bacteria. Fourth, systemic invasion. Large number of tropozoites within the colon wall can also lead to systemic invasion and causes liver abscess. And last stage, cyst discarded. The tropozoites within the intestine are slowly carried towards the rectum, where they return to cyst form and are excreted in feces. Now we deals with classification of amoebicidal drugs. First, chemical classification, that is divided into alkaloids, and the example are emetine, dihydroemetine. Second class, amroids, that is also called phenanthropharan 2-one derivative. Example, quasine. Next class, antibiotic, and the example paromomycin tetracycline. Next class, quinoline derivative, that is again divided into halogenated hydroxyquinoline. For example, diiodohydroxyquinoline, it is also called iodoquinolone, and iodochlorhydroxyquinoline, it is also called cleoquinolone. Next class, aminoquinoline, for example chloroquine, amodiaquine. Next, it is divided in classified as heterocyclic compounds, that also divide in furan derivative, for example dioxanides, and imidazole derivative, for example metronidazole. And last class is organometallic compounds, for example acetarsole. Miscellaneous, for example dioxanide. Now classification according to site of action. First, luminal amoebicide. These act on parasites in lumen of bowel. For example, dioxanide furet, paromomycin, and halogenated hydroxyquinoline. Next class, systemic amoebicides. These act on amoebas in intestinal wall and liver, and examples are emetine and its derivative. Next, mixed amoebicides. These are effective against both luminal as well as systemic forms of diseases, and the example is metronidazole. Next part with monograph of anti-amoebic drug will be continued in next part. Thank you so much.